servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone, able to teach, not resentful. Opponents must be gently instructed, in the hope that God will grant them repentance, leading them to the knowledge of the truth, and that they will come to their senses and escape from the trap of the devil, who has taken them captive to do his will. There's a lot here. And it's tough to narrow this down to, one message, let alone one focus. But if I were to say that this chapter has one message, it is focus. Focus. Stay focused. Stay focused. Well, what do we focus on? As Christians, as believers, we're to be focused. We're to stay focused in a frenetic world. Well, what do we do? What do we focus on? Let's ponder that and let's look at a couple possibilities. Number one, let's turn to Proverbs chapter 9. Proverbs chapter 9 finds us focused on something. We'll start in verse 1. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars. Notice the number 7, these complete. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants, and she calls from the highest point of the city, "Let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense," she says, "come eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Let your simple ways and leave your simple ways, and you will live. Walk the way of insight. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers, or they'll hate you. Rebuke the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." Foundation, seek wisdom. Stay focused on wisdom, and the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And not a terror fear. A lot of us grew up with a fear of our Father, I myself being one of them. But not a terror fear. Not this, oh boy, we got to step carefully and look carefully and act carefully or he's going to beat us. No, it wasn't that. But it wasn't because so many of us grew up with a weak dad. So many of us grew up with a dad. It wasn't a dad that couldn't, it's a dad that wouldn't. Because there was strength, and there was ability, and there was discipline, but there was also the restraint of love. And so there was a healthy fear. Again, not terror fear, but awe fear, respect fear. And it's the fear of God that is the foundation of wisdom. So here in our current culture, where we have made the mistake, I think, even in churches, of separating everybody by age. I mean, the young kids don't want to hang out with the old people, and the adults don't want to hang out with the geezers, and the geezers certainly don't want to hang out with the noisy kids. And we've separated everybody around to where we're not gaining anything from anyone. We're not rubbing shoulders with anyone different than us. And it seems to me that wisdom has to do with seeking the counsel of those who have done what you need to do. There is great wisdom to be had and to be gained from people who have grieved the loss of loved ones, because either you have or you will. There is great wisdom to be gained by those who have worked through financial hardships. Or we look back at the Great Depression of almost 100 years ago and think of those who lived through it, and boy, they're hoarders, they're misers. No, they're people who have done what we may need to do, and we better learn how. And wisdom has to do with experience piled upon knowledge. And it comes from those who have done and succeeded and who are doing. in this frenetic world, stay focused on wisdom. Also in this frenetic world, stay focused on truth. Truth is monumentally important. Did any of you watch the presidential debate Thursday night? Were any of you busy doing other things, more productive perhaps? We were at the men's Bible study. Did the word truth come up in a positive way before, during, and after that debate? No. All we hear, and I watched, highlights, and I've enjoyed the memes that have come from that, and mostly it's he's lying, he's lying, he's lying, that's a lie, that's a lie. We get really sick of that because it jades us to the point where we're thinking, you can't believe anybody, you can't believe anything, everything is a lie. Well, you know what? No, it isn't a lie. In John 18, verse 38, we find Pilate, the prosecutor, if you will, kind of cynically saying to Jesus, what is truth? But we see Jesus throughout his ministry saying, I am the truth. Throughout the book of John, this different kind of gospel focused on the 7 signs of Jesus, all of them leading to an understanding of who and what he is. And he is the truth. And he's the one in John 14, verse 6, who's recorded saying, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Focus on the truth. It's there. He's there. He's here. And in focusing on the truth, first of all, we got wisdom, we got truth, we got life. It is this truth, Jesus the life, who is in John chapter 10, speaking of a shepherd and talking about fraudulent, stealing, thieving shepherds. But he said, I'm the good shepherd. I have come to give my life, and I have come that you, my followers, might have life and have it to the full. Focus on life, not on escaping life. It appears to me, and it seems to me that we spend, probably it's human nature, but it's certainly our cultural nature, we spend billions of dollars and we waste hundreds of years treating symptoms rather than sickness. And the deepest of these is the sickness of the soul. That we pursue symptom assuaging in every way. Most people that have been entrapped in addiction got there starting by trying to flee from life. And the addiction gets its fingers and its claws in, and it holds on, and those who are seeking the good life, so to speak, end up with no life. Focus on life. But then there are 5 worthy pursuits that I want us to consider strongly and focus on. Focus on the worthy pursuit of love. Not the flattery, fluttery, glittery version that we often think of, but 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love, which is not in its original writing connected in